Welcome to the Holistic Success Show. I'm Elizabeth Lozano.
And I'm Dr. Robert Puff. Today we're going to have a guest who's an indoor air expert talking about how to make our environment that we live in healthy and clean for us.
Dr. Puff is going to be sharing with us why it's important not to retire early, as well as how kindness has a ripple effect.
And a question from you about how do I heal from a broken relationship?
Another question is going to be about self-confidence. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you enjoy the show.
In life, we all have to work, but there's something you have to be careful of, and I see it more and more these days. I think as our economic times have changed, one of the things I see is a lot of people say, I want to make a lot of money and retire early. And I want to talk about that aspect of work, because I really feel that's a dysfunctional way to approach life. Why do I feel that? If you are going to retire early, if you say, I'm going to work, make a lot of money and put it aside so I can just sit on the beach and drink margaritas for the rest of my life, what you're going to do in order to get there, if you get there, is you're going to work really, really hard. And you're very likely not going to enjoy the journey. You're not going to enjoy what you're doing. It's going to wear on your body. You're not going to be able to meditate, eat right, exercise, all those things that make you holistically healthy, holistically successful. So I've met so many people that say, I just want to make a lot of money and then I want to retire. And wouldn't it be better to say, I am going to work and I'm going to do everything in my power to work at a job that I love, so that you don't want to retire from it and you could actually envision yourself seeing you do it till the day you die. That, as far as psychologically and emotionally, is a far better way to work, to approach your job. Because if you have to rush through life so you can get done, you're going to hate it. And then at the end, even if you do get there, a few people get there, they make a lot of money. I actually have found that they typically don't do well. They get addicted, they get stuck on addictions. They are physically in terrible shape. I've seen it where they retire and then they're dead in a year. So I think a far, far better approach for us is to say, even though I have to do this work, how do I enjoy it to the deepest core of my being? How do I get good at it? How do I like it? And how do I balance it with having a good marriage, spending time with my children, watching sunsets, eating well, exercising, meditating, all the things that make us holistically well. Because when you put too much emphasis on one piece of the pie, something has to suffer. So you rushing towards making a lot of money, like you're going to work 10 years super hard, it is dysfunctional. It's going to be unhealthy for you because it's going to be at the expense of all these other things. The argument often is, well, when I get there, I'll do all those other things. Well, one, you may not get there. And two, if you do get there, it's going to be, can those things even be repaired? I mean, there are things that we neglect that if you neglect them long enough, you actually lose the ability for them to work. So when you neglect part of yourself, your wife may not last, or your husband may not last through that time you work. Your back may go out. You may start getting horrible migraines and all these different ailments that can kick in because you're trying to get to this end goal of making a lot of money. And the research around the world, it's been done many, many times, has shown as long as you're above poverty level, making more money doesn't make you any more happier. So far more importantly, I know some people have jobs that they're not crazy about, they didn't have much choice on, and that's just what they have to do. Then really the key there is try to find ways to make it as enjoyable as possible. The worst job I ever had was when I was in college. I spent a summer, about 8 weeks, working in a packing plant where all I did all day was 120 degrees, and I just scooped up the remains of animals that they had butchered. And it was the worst job I've ever had. But even during that time, I really learned to get to know people and interact with people that were there, and really learned to enjoy aspects of the job. Of course, I couldn't enjoy it all, but I learned to enjoy aspects of it. Most of us, though, have far more that we can find pleasurable about our work. So find those things, do those things, and don't see yourself someday retiring early. Better to say, I'm going to work until the day I die. You may not, of course, but I'm going to work until the day I die. So that way I'll make sure that you enjoy each and every day of your journey and enjoy the here and now. Peace.
Our first question this week comes to us from Miriam in Iran. I'm 27 years old and was in a wonderful relationship with my boyfriend for 2.5 years. Last year we decided to get married. Then everything fell apart and I don't know what happened. It's been 7 months. I'm still very depressed and I can't forget him. Please help me.
Miriam, even though what you're going through is very difficult, very painful, it's actually normal. In order for you to heal, you have to spend time with your emotion. And when you spend time with it, what happens is it cleanses you. It gets out of you. It's like when you have a cut. In order to heal that cut, it takes time. You have to air it out. It's the same way with this loss. You need to heal from the loss. And with time, that loss will get better and better until you will be happy and feeling good again and ready for a new relationship. However, do be careful in the transitionary time as you're healing not to fall into a depressive pattern. And what that would entail is losing hope, saying what I'm going through right now, it will never be better. I'm just going to struggle. I'm going to never find love again, and it's going to be horrible. So if you hang on to that hope and realizing that I can get better, and every time you spend time with your feeling, you do feel better, then you know you're on the right path. What do you think, Elizabeth?
Yeah, Miriam, I know what you're going through is a very, very difficult time. And if you're like many people, we make our relationship we isolate ourselves from everybody else, and sometimes we're so involved with that relationship we don't have a lot of time for our friends. And right now would be a really good time for you to really reach out. If you don't have a lot of friends, try and network and try and meet some new people, because isolating yourself right now is not a good idea. That will just make things worse. So yes, it is very important for you to grieve and be sad and be able to mourn the loss of it, as with anything else. Be sad, be angry, whatever you need to feel, but also just don't isolate yourself. Make some friends, go out with family members, so you're not just so stuck in where you're at. And maybe when you're out with those friends, talk about some other things and try and find some positive things around you. It's very important.
So Miriam, the message you hear from both of us is that you really can completely heal. You can get over this and really have a beautiful life. It takes time, and the time is the healing. With time, your heart will heal, you'll be better, and you will get over this so that you can say, now I'm ready for new love, new relationships, and find that what you're looking for.
We are really proud of you for asking this question. I want to say to you, don't be afraid to go out and get some therapy, because it can help you through your grieving process as well. Thank you so much for your question, and we wish you all the best. Tranquility and peace. Find freedom and relaxation, no matter where you are or who you're with. Be still, be free. Meditation for Health and Happiness, available at www.holistichealth.tv.
Co-hosts of the Holistic Success Show, Dr. Puff and Elizabeth Lozano, MA, want to teach you how to live a meditative life. Learn to still your mind, diminish negative thinking, experience peace and bliss, and be 100% present in the moment. Retreats provide a unique opportunity to learn new skills, meet new people, and interact with Elizabeth Lozano and Dr. Puff. For information or reservations for upcoming retreats, please visit holisticretreats.tv. Expand your capacity for joyful living today.
I'd like to welcome Dr. Mark Snellar to the show. He's a nationally renowned indoor air expert who spent over 30 years studying pollen, mold, and indoor air pollutants. He has inspected thousands of homes, offices, and schools. He is the owner of Aero Allergy Research in Tucson, Arizona, and he's the author of this book, Greener, Cleaner Indoor Air, A Guide to Healthier Living. Welcome to the show.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Yeah. So can you talk to us a little bit about kind of some of the indoor air pollutants that we maybe should be concerned about?
I like to think of it as two classes of problems. One of them is volatile organic compounds or gases, and the other one is particles, which includes pollen and mold and dust and all of the things that are in dust, plant parts, and automobile exhaust carbon, which is allergenic unto itself. The other part, the gases, we can elaborate on as far as that goes with volatile organic compounds, which means all of the things that we really shouldn't be using that were sold, all of the perfumed and fragrance products that are harmful. And in fact, the EPA classes these perfumes and fragrances along in the same category as pesticides and heavy metals.
Oh my goodness.
So it is nationally and federally recognized as a huge problem.
So that means when I spray my perfume on at home, that's actually causing pollutants in my environment?
Yes, very definitely. We know that most of our diseases come from our indoor environment, and that's pretty well recognized throughout the board in the medical community. And the perfume and fragrances are classed by the federal government in the same category as lead and heavy metals and pesticides. That's how hazardous they are. And they can cause a variety of problems: mental disorders, disorientation, sleeplessness, sleepiness, acting out on the part of children.
Oh, wow.
And that's very well documented now.
So what do you do if you want to smell good without...
Well, it's okay. I mean, a little bit is all right, but you have to understand what's going on in our environment. We're being sold a lot of products that have perfumes and fragrances that are hazardous to us, and they subtract from our life. They add up and affect our immune system, along with the allergens that are out there, the pollen and the mold and the diesel exhaust carbon, and on and on and on, and they add up until we start to have clinical symptoms.
Now, what about candles? I notice sometimes I might burn a candle in my home to make it smell good, because
Yes.
there's a really lot of good smelling candles, but sometimes people might come into my home that might have sensitivities and start sneezing, and I'm trying to figure out, is it from the candle? What's it from? I mean, can that cause indoor air pollutants as well?
It can. Well, I really don't see candles as a big issue because, yes, they have fragrance and they can give off pleasant aromas. I'm just saying that it's a symptom of the problem of fragrances. Air fresheners, for example, are a big problem. Plug-in air fresheners and going to the car wash and putting in air fresheners into the car. And it's pretty hard to escape these items that smell good but cause respiratory irritation and central nervous system affectation. So if you're getting depressed or you have some kind of an emotional problem, whether you're a man or a woman, you might look at kind of maybe not so much what you ate, but maybe what you've been breathing inside of the home, and turn on the fan, get some exhaust going in the house, some fresh air, and flush out that home once in a while.
Yeah, I wouldn't think to even think about those things or looking at the things that I'm breathing in if I'm having any of those issues. That really opens up a whole nother channel.
Yes, we're being sold a lot of goods and products that we don't really need to buy. And if you clean out what's underneath the bathroom sink or in the pantry and in the laundry room, and you take a look at all of these products that have fragrances in them, whether they're detergents or whatever products they are, and or there are a lot of petroleum distillates in the products, and it'll say there, those are noxious, those are hazardous to our health, and those can subtract from our lifestyle and our happiness.
And what about some of the cleaning products? Do those have effects on us as well?
Very definitely, and that's in the same category when we deal with cleaning products, and that's why I try to push natural products that cost maybe a couple of dollars a pound instead of $8 or $10 a pound. If you look at the cost, energy, whatever outlook on these things, you can get baking soda and borax and vinegar and lemons and do 99% of what you need around the house as far as cleaning.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
So I talk about that in some detail in the book and give lots of examples.
Okay. And what about, I see all these air purifiers and vacuum cleaners with all these filters on them, and when you're there looking at the stuff going, okay, what do I pick? I don't know which one. This one's for pets and this, I don't know. So what do you recommend for some of that stuff?
Well, it's the same thing. Shop around, decide what you want and why you want that particular item. Is it for pets? a lot of reports say that the canister types are better than the upright as far as vacuum cleaners. And so it's not so much how often you vacuum, but how the quality of your vacuuming. Is it slow? Is it crosswise? Are you getting underneath these various places where the dust accumulates? This isn't just about dust, it's about what's in the dust. And I talk about that in great detail. What is in that dust is pretty frightening.
So can you share with us a little bit about what is in that dust?
Certainly. There are probably 50 different components in that dust that can be allergenic or asthmogenic, or can cause respiratory distress in otherwise, quote, normal people. You can look at diesel exhaust carbon from vehicles, and diesel's exhaust carbon is everywhere. Virtually everywhere. And every time I monitor the air outside and inside, I find diesel exhaust carbon. And this is inside the home and accumulates in the dust. And so if we don't air out the home or dust on a regular basis, this carbon combines with grass pollen, for example, and carries around the grass antigen with it. And so we can have respiratory symptoms from that, an allergic reaction. Or the carbon is allergenic unto itself. We have plant particles. These are particles given off by plants at times of the year different from when pollen is given off. So you could actually have a symptom of, say, a ragweed in a season that is not ragweed pollen season because the plant is being degraded. So these are particles that are all part of the dust, and of course mold, and of course pollen. A lot of this is tracked in. Most of what comes inside of the home is tracked in on the shoes.
So let's say somebody's having some allergy symptoms, they're sneezing or they've got some other stuff going on. What are, let's say, 3 recommendations that you can give to them that can create some change for their life?
All right, simplify the home in terms of products and in terms of how you keep the main room of the home, such as the master bedroom. That has to be as simple as a motel room, as simple and as clean and possibly...
I don't know how clean some motel rooms are, but...
Yeah, I know. Well, neat. Yeah, so simple and neat and... uncomplicated.
Okay.
Taking your shoes off at the door makes a huge difference. Studies have found that by far most of the dust and dirt and particles and allergens come in through tracking. Cat antigen is present in virtually every home, and including those homes that have never had a cat. And that includes pesticides as well. The average home can have 12 different pesticides, and they've never used that pesticide. They're tracked in.
Wow. Now, if people would like to get a hold of your book, because it is very informative and just kind of expands upon what we've been discussing here, where can they find that? Where can they get a hold of you?
They can get the book on Amazon.com, Wheatmark.com, Borders.com, the usual internet sources, and people can contact me through my website, greenercleanerindoor.com, or my personal email, allergy@mindspring.com.
Thank you so much. It has been a very enlightening interview.
Well, thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
How to Live a Positive Life, available at www.holistichealth.tv.
Co-hosts of the Holistic Success Show, Dr. Puff and Elizabeth Lozano, MA, want to teach you how to live a meditative life. Learn to still your mind, diminish negative thinking, experience peace and bliss, and be 100% present in the moment. Retreats provide a unique opportunity to learn new skills, meet new people, and interact with Elizabeth Lozano and Dr. Puff. For information or reservations for upcoming retreats, please visit holisticretreats.tv. Expand your capacity for joyful...
As a leading provider of raw, vegan, and biocompatible nutritional superfoods, Health Force offers Vitamineral Green. Their special cold-dry technique preserves the essential vitamins, minerals, enzymes, and other nutritional elements from all organic greens and vegetables. Dr. Puff is a longtime consumer of Vitamineral Green and other Health Force products. Now you can enjoy a powerful array of superfoods any time of the day. Be good to your body. Visit www.behealthy.tv today.
In physics, there's a concept called the butterfly effect. And what it basically means is a butterfly flapping its wings in the Amazon will 3 months later be contributing to a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico. And I want to talk today about the butterfly effect of kindness. If we are kind towards others, it can really, months, years later, lead to very positive effects in the future. I want to share a couple of examples of my own that really attest to that. When I was in college, I had given a talk at a local youth group, and it was just a talk talking a little bit about my background and my experience. And I shared some of my own stories. I've always been a storyteller. And years later, this girl came up to me. I was still in college, and she was a freshman. I was a senior. She came up to me and she said, "You know, your story really impacted me, and it has completely changed my life." And I barely remember giving it. So what we do can really have an impact on other people's lives. And when we share ourselves, when we give others kindness to others, it really can impact them, and it can improve our world. Another example of that is a friend of mine, a dear friend of mine. I had visited his mother in another state. We were on vacation with my family. And again, we just had a dialogue, probably like an hour or so dialogue. And then years later, she again shared with someone else how that time I spent with her completely just really changed her life. So she felt like we were very close. I was like one of the closest people she had ever known because I really listened to her. And this is not about, what I'm doing or not doing. It's about the effect of you don't know the kindness you show towards someone today, how that can change your life 6 months, a year from now. So if you do see a connection, that the kindness that you share in the shopping mall, driving your car at work, can truly impact people, and there is a connection between all of us, what that may do, and my hope for you is, and for me, will continue to do for all of us, that will continue to show kindness and love towards others. Because if each of us do a little bit of positive, a little bit of loving kindness towards others, the world can very slowly, but very progressively become a better and healthier place. That's what this show is all about. Elizabeth and I are here to hope that perhaps you will improve your life and then share it with us, and then you'll pass it on to other people as people have impacted Elizabeth in my life. And as we love each other and we support each other, the butterfly effect can truly change the face of the world. So I want to encourage people to say, okay, right now, do I see someone hurting? And would it make a lot of difference if I maybe spent 10 minutes talking to them, or reached over them, gave them a smile, or gave them a compliment? It's amazing how little subtle things can have really lasting effects. And do that with the people that you love, do that with the people that you don't love, and do that with the people that you don't even know. And what you may find, and keep track of it, because that's what I've done, you may find that those things you do today may impact a person's life a year, 10 years from now, and our world can really be transformed into a very loving, kind place. Peace.
Our second question this week comes to us from Asmare in Ethiopia. I lack self-confidence. I am not able to express what I feel or what I need out of fear of rejection or of the possibility of offending someone. It is affecting my work and personal relationships. What advice can you give me?
There are many ways to build self-confidence, many, but I want to share my most effective way that I like to use myself. And what I do is when I'm with someone, I try not to think about me. I try to get me, meaning this egoic mind of mine that judges as good and bad all day long, out of the picture, and just be 100% present with other people. Not thinking whether they like my dress, they like what I'm saying, but just totally focus on them and the situation. And what happens then is the self-confidence does build because you are doing such a wonderful job being with people. They like you, they feel so present with you. They just think, wow, what a great person. And that love you feel from them, that attraction they feel from you is really positive, and that will make you feel good about yourself. But what it entails is getting this out of the equation, getting the thoughts, am I doing a good job? Do they like me? Don't they like me? Those keep you from feeling confident about yourself. What builds the ultimate self-confidence is actually having those thoughts be still and being present 100% with that person. That's the best way I feel to build self-confidence. What do you think?
I think that those are some wonderful words of wisdom, Dr. Puff, and I think that's a spin on it that we don't really usually address because it's so much of what goes on in here that affects how we feel. what are they going to think about me? What if they don't like me? What if? And on top of that, it's really amazing because when you start to be kind of a doormat for everybody else, there's a plethora of things that can happen. One is you being passive aggressive, so getting back at somebody in a really passive way, but it's still a little bit aggressive because it's got to go somewhere. Another thing that you might do is hurt yourself in whatever way, whether it's drinking alcohol, whether it's overeating, or any other thing. The list can go on and on. So I think being able to quiet your mind is it's like you could use that for just about anything in order for you to improve your just overall well-being. But shut those thoughts out because they really aren't affecting you in a positive way, and really start to be able to stand up tall and proud of who you are, because those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind.
You are a beautiful person. Get to know yourself, and you'll find that self-confidence will just flow from that. Get to know other people and see them as beautiful too. And what you'll find is actually the world is a beautiful place. Enjoy that place and be present with who you're with.
And also really watch who you're spending time with and what you're exposing yourself to. Don't be around negative people. Really try and be around positive people and expose yourself to positive things as well. Thank you so much for your question.
HollywoodBeautySecrets.com offers powerful, healthy skincare products at a fraction of the price of most doctor brands. From potent peptides and antioxidants to rejuvenating LED light therapy, HollywoodBeautySecrets.com offers quality beauty products that you can afford. We all deserve to look and feel our best on any budget. Look better, feel better, be better at www.HollywoodBeautySecrets.com.
Tranquility and peace. Find freedom and relaxation no matter where you are or who you're with. Be still, be free. Meditation for health and happiness, available at www.holistichealth.tv.
Co-hosts of the Holistic Success Show, Dr. Puff and Elizabeth Lozano, MA, want to teach you how to live a meditative life. Learn to still your mind, diminish negative thinking, experience peace and bliss, and be 100% present in the moment. Retreats provide a unique opportunity to learn new skills, meet new people, and interact with Elizabeth Lozano and Dr. Puff. For information or reservations for upcoming retreats, please visit holisticretreats.tv. Expand your capacity for joyful living today.
Our quote this week is by Howard Schultz, and the quote is, "Life is a series of near misses, but a lot of what we ascribe to luck is actually not luck at all. It's seizing the day and accepting responsibility for your future." So go out there and seize the day. Thank you for joining us on the Holistic Success Show. If you're curious about how to improve your life through meditation, please listen to our Meditation for Health podcast, available on iTunes and our website.
And if you'd like to learn more deeply about some of the topics we talk about on the show, please visit our bookstore at our website also.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you have a wonderful week.